Well, welcome everybody to another edition of the No Nonsense Roundtable. I'm Dom Genova, your host, here today with probably two of my favorite people of all time. And I am not kidding. I am here with Naomi Silver, the president and CEO of the Rochester Red Wings, and a wonderful character in both senses of the word, Dan Mason, the general manager of said organization. So welcome to the show, gang. I think it's I think it's the third or fourth time you've been on the show. We've had 170 shows, so thank you for coming back.
Thanks for having us. It was quite a compliment. We feel the same way about you.
You guys are sweet. Well, I tell people, and we were saying before the show, there are some organizations that have woven their way into the culture of Rochester, and the Eastman, Wegmans, the Red Wings. I mean, you think of Rochester and you think of you guys and the wonderful job that you do. I'm absolutely amazed by you guys and the job that you do. And I say all the time that one of the saddest things that I hear during the year is on the last day of the season, Dan, you know what you say.
I know.
You know what you say? We'll see you next April. And it's just so depressing, and I have to go have a couple of adult beverages to calm myself down after that. But now it's April. April, May, and we are getting into the baseball season again, and I'd like to talk to you about about a lot of things that are going on, because you have renovation, you got the season starting up, you got some promotions and whatever. So, one question I want to ask though, during you have this off season, you have this downtime, and I've always wondered, Dan, like, during this off-season downtime, like, what do you sleep until 11 o'clock during the day, and you have lunch and you have some cocktails at 4 or something. Like, what are you doing on the off-season?
A lot of Sudoku, a lot of catching up on my streaming shows and things like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
just a lot of relaxing.
You and Spike's playing cards, or or cribbage, or whatever it is.
Checkers.
No, seriously. What are the things that you're doing? Because I mean, now you're going like 20 hours a day, I'm sure.
I think Naomi and the rest of our staff and myself, our job is to make sure that when fans come to the games, that they feel like it was worth their time and worth their money. So there's a lot that goes into it when you throw 75 parties a year, which is essentially what we're doing. So, like any good party planner, you don't just come up with these things overnight, and you don't just, whip up some food and throw it out there and play DJ for an hour or two. You have to put a lot of thought into how you're going to entertain your guests, right? And as I said, we have to do it 75 times a year. So we try to come up with a different theme, a different promo that is going to attract different segments of our population to the ballpark throughout this season. So it takes a lot of pre-planning. A lot of our time in the wintertime is spent on sales, getting sponsorships, corporate partners to engage with us, and coming up with ideas that we can partner with them to engage our fans, but also engage their customers. And then reaching out to our ticket holders, our ticket buyers, and, getting them to, encouraging them to come on back for another year of supporting Red Wings baseball. So really a lot of time and effort goes into the planning and the sales. And now we're in a different phase where we're actually in the execution phase of our season, and really carrying on the plans and the promotions that we've come up with, and executing those plans and making it fun for our fans.
So, Naomi, the Red Wings, remind me, have been around since what year?
1877.
1877. And where were the games first played?
Oh, gosh. In the city, Jones Park. I don't know. Dan, do you know what that history is?
There was, I think we played in 7 different ballparks.
Bay Street.
Yeah, Hot Bitters Park. All over the place.
And when was
that? Was before Dan and I started with the Wings. It doesn't seem like it's possible that something that it was.
What do you think of the longevity of that? I mean, you're talking about 18. It was before cars.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the world has changed a lot since then.
There's some awesome pictures of, I think it was Bay Street, where people were lined up in the outfield with their horses and buggies and watching the games.
Well, the thing about baseball, and I think everybody agrees, is that you have statistics from year to year to year, and you're comparing your players and their performance with actual statistics. I mean, number of touchdown passes by a quarterback is not known as well as how many games Joe DiMaggio hit straight in.
Yeah, statistics is a huge part about the game of baseball for sure. And I think that goes back to the history of the game and why it's such a beloved sport, pastime in our country, is that it's so generational. And the statistics are something that you can compare and contrast over the years.
So Silver Stadium, when was Silver Stadium built? Do you know?
It opened in 1929. So right at the beginning of the Depression, we were opening a stadium. And, those were still, days that people cherish. I think baseball is the idea that you were there with your family generations before you, and you can talk to your great-grandparents if you're so lucky enough to have them about those experiences. It's really quite amazing. But Silver Stadium opened as Red Wings Stadium, of course, and served us well for 70 years. So, that's more than a lifetime in a stadium.
So you know where I'm going with this. Now, Frontier Field was built in what year?
1997.
1997. Okay, and you've been there since then. And now you have a big renovation coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very excited.
How's that for a segue, huh?
That's perfect. It's a very exciting time for us. We think our fans will, our fans deserve the best in Rochester. They've been such great advocates for the ballpark, such great fans. And this renovation will really bring us back up to, the model stadium that we were in 1997 when we opened.
And the progression of that has been kind of transformative, because this is nobody really had an inkling until just recently that this was going to happen. This is really kind of cool. It's like for the general public, I think this comes like out of the blue. Like, wow, that's really cool. And we're about ready to head to a break. We got just about a minute here, but we're going to be talking about that when we come back. But also, we have a special guest that we're going to get on the line, and we're going to take a little bit of a turn off the highway for a second, and we'll have a surprise guest for everybody to listen to when we come back. Well, from this break. So welcome back. You're listening to the No Nonsense Roundtable. I'm Dom Genova, your host, every Saturday, 10 to 11, right here on News Radio WM 1180. And of course, we're here with two of our favorite people, Naomi Silver, who is the president and CEO of the Rochester Red Wings, and Dan Mason, the general manager. And we were talking about the new renovations that are going to be done to the stadium, progress starting shortly. But before we're going to talk about that in more detail, I promised everybody that we're going to have a special guest call in, and somebody who's a big Red Wing fan, somebody who is an inductee of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. God bless him, great Rochester guy. And one of the things about this fella is that if you look at his Wikipedia page, he's wearing a Red Wings hat. And fella that everybody knows here in Rochester by the name of Gene Cornish. Gene, welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you, Dom, and hello to Naomi and to Dan. Looking forward to being in Rochester for that wonderful event that you guys are throwing for me.
Yeah, for anybody that doesn't know, well, Dan, why don't you tell them about September 26th, what we're doing?
Well, we're going to have Gene Cornish Day.
No, I think you should tell him. I'm a little embarrassed. I'm a little embarrassed to tell him. I'm honored, but I heard you want to have a Gene Cornish Day, which I don't feel I really deserve. But thank you. I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, you definitely deserve it, Gene. We can't wait to host you on September 26th. And so many people in Rochester love your music, and can't wait to meet you in person. So and we'll may even be able to find a new Red Wings hat for you, so you can update your Wikipedia page if you like. But we appreciate all your support, and looking forward to hosting you and Dom at the ballpark on September 26th for Gene Cornish and I at the ballpark.
Well, you know, I grew up a block away from what was originally Red Wing Stadium. And I was a non-hold gang member. And every time a home run was hit at Red Wing Stadium, my apartment shook. That's how close I was.
I wanted to say hello to you. I'm so excited to be talking to you. I haven't seen you since Silver Stadium, but as I told you then, and I'll say it again, I grew up listening to your music and just loved the Rascals forever in my mind. And I can't, the songs were just so meaningful. So very exciting to look forward to your Gene Cornish Day.
You know, I'm very honored that it would be at a Red Wing Stadium, Frontier Stadium / your father saved that team.
Thanks for remembering him, Gene. Appreciate
without
that.
a doubt, because it was Red Wing Stadium, then it was Silver Stadium. I remember when it came Silver Stadium, I had left already for New York City. But I remember when I was a kid, at the 8th inning, they would open up the gates, and all the kids could run in and watch the last inning.
Tremendous. Yeah, that was a great part of Silver Stadium, was that it was in the neighborhood and a lot of kids around.
The people who lived across the street from the stadium had long, deep lawns, and they would park cars there for $1. For $1, you could park your car.
Imagine, right?
Now, Gene, your Wikipedia page, you're wearing a Red Wings hat. I mean, how did that happen? It just happened to have that hat that day, or who? Where did that picture come from?
Every time I went to New York, to Rochester from New York, I would stop by stadium and buy a hat. I always had one. I had a hat. I always wore it. I wore it constantly. Just to support my team. That was my team, even though I'm a big Yankee fan now in New York. I hope you don't mind.
We'll forgive you.
Yeah.
We'll still have Gene Cornish Day, I promise.
Yeah. Gene, I have a big picture of Joe D in my office here, and they forgive me for it. So they're very kind that way.
So I'm going to have Pat Brietti with me.
Yep.
Awesome.
Who inducted me in the Rochester Music Hall of Fame. And I want him on stage with me because Gene Cornish Day in Rochester means Pat Brietti with me.
Yeah. Well, you guys go back a long way. You used to play as kids, right?
We used to play back in 1958 together.
God bless you. Well, what I would say, the thing about the Rascals is that the Rascals, it's American music. It's an American culture. People know the music. I think some of the younger people don't know it's the Rascals. But boy, I tell you, grooving. It's a beautiful morning. I mean, people got to be free. I mean, the contribution that you made to music in the United States is really incredible. And it's going to be really, really great to meet you in person in September, Gene.
Well, I know that Bruce Pilato, my friend and ex-manager, is going to put together a video that he put together for the screen at the stadium. I'm looking forward to seeing if that works out.
Oh, yeah, that'd be perfect.
Yeah, we're going to have a good time. Gene, thank you for taking our call, and I'm going to try to sell some tickets for these good people in the next minute or two, and God bless you, and we'll see you in September, if not before.
Let me say this. Thank you, Naomi. Thank you, Dan. Go Red Wings.
Thanks, Gene. It's a pleasure.
All right. Well, that was delightful, wasn't that?
Yeah, what a good guy.
Yeah. Yeah, and so let's get back to the stadium. I mean, You know, a couple of years ago, we talked about the stadium and the lease on the stadium, and you know, the economic environment was a lot different back then, and now you have a plan for stadium upgrades. Some of it, Naomi, you were telling me, are precipitated by Major League Baseball, what their requirements are, and some of it is targeted toward the baseball experience. Should we say that?
That's correct. So Major League Baseball has asked us to make improvements, all of us in the minor leagues, to our clubhouse level. You know, teams have changed quite a bit over the years in terms of the numbers of players and the kind of treatment that they get from you know, doctors and trainers right there at the ballpark. Their workout facilities have grown, and you know, just a number of things have changed, and we've got to make some of those adjustments. I think that every stadium in the country, even the new ones, are having to change things up for the players. It makes perfect sense, and you know, the county, as our landlord, part of our lease says that the county will take care of those requirements that Major League Baseball may come up with. So here we are. The county is, you know, working with us to make plans for those upgrades, and we'll do those over the next 3 off seasons.
Well, there seems to be a lot of money going into Rochester, new state park and whatever. So we're looking forward to a revitalization of a lot of what's happening downtown. Now we have about a half a minute left. I mean, before the break. So half the money is for the upgrades of the stadium to help the organization itself with its employees and whatever, and the other half is for the experience. Right? We're talking about a new level or 360. Or how's that go?
We've talked about a 360 concourse, and what that means is that where the concourse currently exists, mostly between right field and left field, going by home plate, it would wrap around the outfield as well. So you could go around in the 360 configuration, and we'd have things out beyond the outfield wall for fans. That's one of the things that we'd like to have done at Frontier Field.
That sounds cool. And we're going to talk more about this right after this. Well, welcome back. You're listening to the No Nonsense Roundtable, 10 to 11 Saturdays here on News Radio WHAM 1180 or on wham1180.com, or you can always get our previous shows by going to nononsenseroundtable.com and their iHeart podcasts or YouTubes. And anybody listening to the show knows that at the bottom of the hour, I like to give a shout out and a hearty thank you to the Bob Johnson Auto Group, who sponsors this show. Great place to buy a car or a truck or get a car or truck fixed. And my recommendation, go to one of the Bob Johnson Auto Group dealerships to make your purchase or get your car fixed. And we're here today with Naomi Silver, who is the president and CEO of the Rochester Red Wings, and Dan Mason, the general manager. Now, one of the things, you have a longer season now, right, guys?
Yes, absolutely. We're going to be playing all the way till September 28th this year, which is about a month longer than our typical season. So in the past, we've played from early April to Labor Day, and Labor Day was always the last game of our season. But this year, we're playing. We have a lot more off days for our players for their player wellness initiative that Major League Baseball is coming out with, and so we'll play every Tuesday through Sunday. And that means that the season is going to go longer. We're going to play 75 home games as opposed to 72 home games, which is what we have been accustomed to in the past.
And the Tuesday's games, you have some deal going, right?
We have a great deal, Dom. I don't know how we do it, but you can get 2 tickets for the
today and today only. You sound like a car dealer. Today and today only. 2 for 1. 2 for 1. Only at only at the Red Wings. Yeah. Go ahead.
You can 2 for 1 tickets.
Ladies and gentlemen, he's blushing.
2 for 1 tickets at redwingsbaseball.com. Get them while they're hot. I know that's how you like your wings, Dom. God,
I just love retail. No, that makes me feel good because when Labor Day comes, and first of all, the kids are going back to school and whatever, and you say, well, April, but you extend it a little bit. That's nice. That makes me feel a little bit better about the whole deal. So,
and the weather, honestly, in September around here in Rochester is knock on wood, is usually pretty nice. So, another full month to check out Red Wings.
No. It's just as what you mean is just as bad as it always is.
No,
it's Rochester.
Rochester.
It's Rochester.
It's a great
No.
month.
I'm teasing you, but it is a great thing. So let's talk about some of the other promotions you have going on this year. You have we have Gene Cornish Day, which we just learned about. But what else?
We've got all kinds of great stuff. Every Tuesday, as I mentioned, 2-for-1 tickets. Wednesday, we'll feature a lot of T-shirt giveaways throughout the season. Thursdays we play as the Rochester Plates every Thursday, and it's also college night. So college students, faculty, and staff every Thursday for $15 get a ticket plus $5 diamond that they can spend at the concession stands or at the team store. Every Friday and Saturday, starting May 20th, we'll feature fireworks. And then every Sunday, kids can run the bases with the world's fastest mascots, Spikes and Mitzi. So that's just our Game of the Week promos. And we've got so many other we've got giveaways, we've got appearances, all kinds of great stuff going on. For all the promos, check out redwingsbaseball.com.
Okay, and I'm scowling at you now because you know what you forgot?
And First Responders Day.
Yes, First Responders Appreciation Day.
It
started, back when with Genesee Valley. Now the great Bob Johnson Auto Group sponsors it, and it's coming up when?
July 31st.
July 31st.
So that's one of the many great promos we got going on this year. And for the full schedule, check out redwingsbaseball.com.
And you do things for the community, too. You just had the cleanup day last week.
Yeah, we're very excited that the city likes to come out to Frontier Field as its home base for the clean sweep, and then bring the folks back who've worked so hard to clean up for our afternoon game that day. The city is really one of our great partners. You got to love Rochester. Everybody is so involved, and our new mayor has been very, very, really very responsive, I would say, to all of our needs and anything that we've asked him for. We've missed having Clean Sweep for a couple of years, but now that it's been back, we're really excited to have them.
So, Dan, let's change the subject a little bit because baseball is the game, but it's also the promotions and the different things that you do. So tell me some of the things that have been the most successful promotions that you've had.
Well, I think about, fireworks. Obviously, people love fireworks, so that's been a huge hit. Milo the Bat Dog, one of our more recent promos that we've done for the last few years. Milo's popularity has been off the charts. Okay,
so how do you find a bat dog? I mean, you don't Google bat dog and there's a bat dog. I mean, how do you get in touch with the people with the bat dog?
Well, we have a great promotions team at the ballpark, and a few years ago they said it's been done in a couple of other ballparks that they saw, and they knew it was a big success. So they said we got to get a bat dog here for the Red Wings. So we got to, So they poked around and found a guy in town that trains golden retrievers and called him up and said, "Hey, how would you like to be our bat dog?" And Milo came over and did a lot of practicing many times until they got to the point where his trainer Josh felt like, okay, let's try this, with actually people in the stands. And, the first time, the first, at bat of the game, it didn't go great. But after that, he just, he did amazing. And I think he really feeds off of the applause. And certainly he gets applause. We could be losing 18-0 in the ninth inning, and if he goes out there to grab a bat, the place erupts.
I know you just love the guy, but I mean, like, who first thought of that? And do you raise a dog specifically to be a bat dog? No, you say he's a retriever. So you rather than getting a duck, he's getting a bat. So that's pretty cool, though. That is fun. I've been to those games. That if you haven't, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't seen that before, go buy a ticket just to see the bat dog. It is a rip. Some of the other promotions. The plates, obviously, the Rochester Plates has been a huge hit with our fans, so much so that we're doing it every Thursday. Let's see here. And now you have a full bar. You never used to have a full bar in the Breezeway. Now you have full bars.
We do have a full bar.
So if you want to get a martini,
correct.
Yeah, which adds to the game, especially when you're losing. It adds to the game. You can just go have a martini and improve your mood a little bit. How about any promotions that you thought were going to be great and it's like that WKRP thing with the turkeys or something?
I've been known as the Herb Tarlek of the Rochester Red Wings on a few occasions. We did a promo that called the Diamond Dig one time. It's been done throughout minor league baseball many times. Typically done with a jeweler, and we had a great jeweler partner that had donated a pair of diamond stud earrings that we were going to give away. So what we did is we buried a poker chip in the infield prior to the game, and then invited ladies down onto the field, gave them a paint stir to dig, and the first one to find the poker chip buried in the infield dirt would win the diamond stud earrings. So you have all these women, probably 500 women out on the field digging, trying to find this poker chip. And it's taking a little bit longer, and we've got fireworks, so people are getting a little antsy. And so at one point, I said, okay, I'm going to give everyone a hint. It is between first and second base. So then all the women that were between second and third run over to the first base dirt area and start digging, and still couldn't find it. So now it's like women have been out there digging for maybe 15 minutes. So we don't know what happened. We don't know, where is this chip? So I had to run back into the, now at this point people are throwing hot dogs at me because they want their fireworks. I run back into my office. Thankfully I had another poker chip, grabbed that, went back down onto the field, basically huddled with a few of my guys on my staff, and we went around to 4 different spots in the infield dirt and put it in one of them, and then we did it all over again. And thankfully, the woman found it very quickly after that. But,
so the place must have looked like the moonscape.
Yes, it was not my groundskeeper's favorite promotion either. But
I love it.
Good to till up the infield.
I love it. And we'll be back right after this. Well, welcome back. You're listening to the No Nonsense Roundtable, and we're here with Naomi Silver, who's the president and CEO of the Rochester Red Wings, and Dan Mason, who's the general manager. Now, Dan, there were a couple of things you wanted to get in before the show ended, and just have at it.
Well, thanks, Dom. We have a brand new suite at the ballpark that we worked with our friends with at the Autism Council of Rochester. It's our sensory suites specifically designed for families who have members of their family that are autistic, and it's a really cool suite at a greatly discounted price also, and it's just typical, very atypical in terms of the furnishings in there and activities that are in there, and just more of a sensory friendly type of suite. So it's really ideal for families that have a member of their family has autism. So you can give us a buzz at 454-1001 for more information on that, or check out redwingsbaseball.com. We've also got, we'll be playing 3 nights as the Cocos Locos de Rochester, so 3 of our Latino nights. And then on June 25th, a very special tribute to the Negro Leagues night, and it's going to be great. We're going to be wearing our Rochester American Giants jerseys, which was Rochester's very own Negro League team. We'll have a couple of members from our community that played in the Negro Leagues in attendance, and also the Josh Gibson Traveling Museum, which is an amazing history of the Negro Leagues, will be at the ballpark that night.
Oh, and where will they be? In the Breezeway, you can have the museum. Oh, that's very, very cool. I think a lot of people don't know enough about the Negro Leagues and the ball players and how they were as adept as any of the big league players, and the discrimination they had to go through. And of course, Jackie Robinson didn't break the color barrier until 1946, 48, was it?
It was 75 years ago. This year he played. 75 years ago this year.
Yeah, one of my favorite quotes is his quote says, "A life has little meaning other than the effect it has on other lives." So when you look at some people that are in sports that are heroes, that's a real hero. You know, your performance on the field is one thing, but your character and the way you carry yourself is more important. And you've had some pretty neat people go through the Red Wings organization. I mean, Cal Ripken Jr. and mention a few of them.
Oh, Cal Ripken. I mean, tons of Hall of Famers. I mean, more recently, guys like Cal and Eddie Murray. Mike Mussina is the latest Rochester Red Wing, and I know he played for that team down in New York that you like to cheer for.
Unnamed team.
We like to say that he played for the Red Wings before he played for anyone else. But Stan Musial, Bob Gibson, so just a whole litany of former players and managers. Earl Weaver was our manager. Frank Robinson was our manager. So just, our history as a minor league team, really rivals any major league team's history. When you think about, we've been in existence since 1877, and all the great players that have played in the big leagues that have come through Rochester, it's pretty remarkable.
And our favorite, of course, Joe Altobelli, who, our hometown guy, came to Rochester and made it his hometown. So, it loved him the way we love, the town just made life for him, and his family grew up here. Really wonderful. Yeah, you can visit his statue out in left field.
Yeah, he was almost like a second dad to you, wasn't he?
He was to me, and yes. He was to Dan as well.
Yeah, we miss him big time. Number 26.
Well, that's the thing about the Red Wings. The Red Wings are more than just a baseball team. It's a culture. It's a family, and Rochester is part of your family. I just admire the heck out of you guys. Now, as far as the ball players go, if you were to be stuck in a car with somebody driving to New York for 6 hours, who would you want to be stuck in the car with? I think the ball players you've seen at the Red Wings.
Oh boy! Well, I can tell you, I was stuck in a car with Justin Morneau one time at the AAA All-Star game. We were playing in Pawtucket, and he was supposed to fly home, and he's like, "I really don't want to feel like flying. I've been flying a lot. Do you mind if I just get in the car with you?" And I was like, "Yeah, come on." It was just me and him, and he and I should say. And we drove back and listened to some great tunes, and turns out we have some similar musical tastes. And he slept, and we listened to tunes, and then when we got back to the ballpark, Phil Roof, our manager, was like, called him into his office. Like, I'll never forget it. As soon as we walked into the clubhouse, Phil was like, "Hey, Justin, I need to see you." And he went up to the big leagues.
Wow, very cool.
It was his last road trip in the minor leagugues. And I
have to tell you, before the show ends, I have to mention your organist, Fred Costello, who was on the show here. A lot of people don't know that he had quite a career back in the 60s playing Vegas and Tahoe, and now he is the longest tenured
organist.
Yeah.
Ballpark organist in history.
Yeah. A Guinness World Book of Records stuff, right?
46 years Fred has been tickling the ivories at Red Wings Stadium, or at Silver Stadium, and at Frontier Field. Yeah, since 1977, I believe.
That could be
46 years. I'm not very good at math, Don. That's why I roll tarp and make hot dogs.
Yeah, but talk about a character with character, though. I mean,
such an icon, and he really lends so much to the atmosphere. We love him.
Yeah, and quite a sense of humor. He'll play Jingle Bells if the weather is like 45 degrees outside and stuff like that. He'll keep the game going. Last thoughts, Naomi?
We're just excited about the renovations that will be coming up. Feel like we're ensuring baseball at Frontier Field for the next generation. What could be more important to us? Not much. That's where we live.
Dan?
Yes, same thing. We're just so excited about the renovations, and thanks to Naomi for all her hard work. She's been working on this for the last decade or so, believe it or not, and it was such a cool thing yesterday to see it all come to fruition.
Well, I always feel like the show ends too soon when I have you on the show, so thank you for coming in. God bless you for what you do, and take me out to the ball game.
Right on.
All righty. See you next week, gang. 10 to 11, News Radio Wham, 1180. Well, thanks for watching this YouTube. If you liked it, please like and share.